What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Alchares Q&A 2. Recently, I've had the idea to do a second Q&A video, as I did one last year, which was really fun. We had a bunch of really cool questions, but I thought I might as well revisit it. It's been about a year now, and you guys might have some urgent questions or some things you might be interested in what I do or about me. This gives me the opportunity to read some of your messages and some more crazy questions, but maybe some easier ones. Anyways, that's enough chit chat. Let's just get underway. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's jump right into the first question, shall we? Question number 1 was asked by Richard, who asked, what is your favorite game you've ever played? And that's probably an easy question, as there is one game that I always play on our Twitch pretty much weekly, ever since I pretty much started with streaming, even multiple times a week, a few times, and that game is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, the thing about Smash is I've already loved it for so long, even in previous iterations, but after Smash 4, I just wanted to try a few things. Like, I wanted more stuff, you know, but also some of the stuff that was in older titles like Melee. I just wanted everything in one package, and pretty much Ultimate is the one-stop shop for everything Smash Brothers, from Smash Brothers history to even more crazy, amazing new stuff. Just look at characters they added, like Sora, Sephiroth, Steve. It's just a crazy game. I love me some single-player games as well, but Smash is just a game you could just go on the couch with friends, have a good time, and there's always something new or something different that's going to happen. Not only in terms of the gameplay, but also with the pure abundance of stages and characters that are there, which makes it my favorite game, pretty much period, that I've ever played. Richard's second question was, how/why did you start streaming? Well, that question is something, I don't know, I might have already answered that in the previous Q&A video, but to sum it up, it's pretty much I used to be a commentator for Mario Kart and Smash Brothers tournaments, as I used to compete a whole lot in those in the past. I've talked about it in quite a number of videos and streams as well, with a lot of story time videos that I'm putting out now as well. But I really love doing that, and then once Clover suggested to me, hey, maybe you should start streaming yourself. So I tested it out with him with an Elgato capture card, and it looked really fun to me. I've always wanted to do stuff with video and, you know, making videos, making content, but I never actually ended up doing so, and kind of forgot about the idea until Clover suggested it. And then it felt pretty good. Bought a PC later that summer, and then on October 12th, if I'm saying that correctly by heart, at least somewhere in October, I started with the first ever stream in 2019 with, now we're pretty much going into the 4th year of streaming, with a lot more of the YouTube content now coming to fruition as well. So yeah, I started streaming due to, you know, commentating. Kind of interesting, and a huge thanks to that is actually Clover then. Richard's third and final question is, what is your favorite anime, if you watch anime, that is? Well, I do watch anime. I haven't really watched it a whole lot. I know I've been talking a whole lot about some different shows that I've been watching here and there that aren't really anime related on stream here and there. But there is always one anime that I keep very close to me, because I like me some anime here and there, and that anime is Inazuma 11. That's also because I kind of grew up with it, not only by playing the video games of it, but also watching the anime series. Back then in Dutch, kind of cringe, but the English version, and also, well, most importantly, the Japanese version, is a super underrated anime, also because it's actually from a video game company, more or less. Level 5, the same guys that made Yokai Watch, but also Professor Lane. And I think it's really underrated. Nowadays, there's not really a lot of new stuff being made for it, but the stuff that's already there, it might be more of a kid's show, but if you look at it in like just a for fun show, it is really fun. I highly recommend it. Now, the Xenoblade fans, they would tell me that their favorite anime is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Well, that is technically a video game, but if you put all the cutscenes back to back to back, you do have 14 hours of content, so you could also do that. Now, the next question is from Newbie, who asks, what made you start streaming? And a sus question, will you ever show your feet? Well, to answer that first part of the question, I did so a little bit earlier, but I'll just elaborate on it. Clover helped me out with, you know, getting started after like the streaming period, and then I bought over the summer of 2019 my entire setup that I still use to this day. I've upgraded like small parts of it to make it better. For example, like the camera you see over here, I didn't have a camera at first. The microphone I'm using right now, and a few, like one monitor over there. And of course, new systems like the PlayStation 5 and a Switch OLED to help me out, of course, make content and stuff like that. I started out with YouTube first before, before Twitch, like 2 or 3 weeks beforehand, but I did it like without making any edits or anything. It's not like the YouTube videos you see nowadays, and I'm pretty sure that channel, I originally took that down and put it up later again, because people asked me to make YouTube content. I was like, maybe I'll give it another shot, and I had a lot of passion for it, so that's why I got back to it. To elaborate on that second question, though, will you ever show your feet? No. No, I don't think I will. Promismes asks, if you could create a video game with anyone, with who would it be? And if so, what type of video game would it be? Well, to answer that first part of the question, I would probably say either Monolith Soft or probably Sakurai Smash Team, which includes like Bandai Namco and Sora Limited. First of all, why Monolith Soft? Look at their backlog. It is nuts. It is insane. They make some fantastic games. They help out with a lot of other series as well. For example, did you know they actually helped out with the world design of Pokemon Legends Arceus? And a few other like big Nintendo franchise they help out with. And of course with their own premier franchise, the Xenoblade Chronicles series, which I am a huge fan of. So I would probably go with that if it was a single player game. And for the choice of Masahiro Sakurai, he's brilliant. He's a legend. Like, there is no getting around it. This man, it doesn't matter what type of team he has. I feel like he could just create anything just perfect. He created Smash Bros. Obviously, Kirby, Kid Icarus Uprising, fantastic video game. Nowadays, I'm pretty sure he actually makes videos on YouTube, which is pretty cool. But to answer that second part of the question, though, about what type of video game it would be, it would either have to be a big open world RPG, kind of like how Xenoblade is, or like how Pokemon and Scarlet are shaping up to be. Or it would be a fun multiplayer mayhem fighter. Probably not in the same style as Smash, but kind of like Smash, but then maybe like a 3D arena or something like that. Just put a new twist on the entire platform fighter genre if it were to be with the second team, which would be like Sora Limited and Masahiro Sakurai. Yokai Blade asks, who is the best boy / girl in Xenoblade 3? And why is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 going to be your favorite game of all time? First, to answer that first question, I have not played Xenoblade 3 since launch day, and that is mostly because I have been filled to the brim with other RPGs and other great big games that we've been playing, like Final Fantasy VII Remake or Mario Plus Rabbids. We played a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna early this year, so I haven't had the time for it yet. But we're going to start with it like very soon. It's going to be fantastic. So far from what I know, though, I really like the main character. I forgot what his name was with the black hair. He was really cool so far from the first few hours that I played of the game, as well as Ewing. From the few cutscenes that I have seen of the game and from the start, her personality is amazing. She's probably going to be a really fun party member to mess around with as well. And to get to that second question, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is currently my favorite RPG and like favorite single player game that I've played so far, which is due to the fact that it was early during the start of the streams, and there were like 3 people there mainly who were carrying me through that game. I slowly but surely grasped the gameplay and how to do everything well in the game. But there were 3 people throughout that journey that I will never forget, which were Comfund, Darky Gamer, and Yokai Blade, who carried me so hard through that entire game. It was so fun. It was a really good experience on its own, just like any other RPG. But because of those 3 guys, the memories of that series will never go away. And I have a feeling that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is going to be the same in that regard. Yokai Blade also asks, what is your favorite Xenoblade Chronicles song and why? Well, getting back to some more Xenoblade questions, are we? Well, I would probably have to say the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 medley from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Pyra and Mithra DLC, because it just has all the big landmark music together, like Gormod, Raya, Tantal, and it just flows so nicely together. It's just amazing. I really like it. If it has to be specifically from Xenoblade, it would probably have to be the battle theme from either Torna or Future Connected. Both of them are brilliant songs that you are going to hear so much, but you'll never get tired of. I had a bit of a small brain with this next question, because I actually didn't capture the entire screenshot of who sent it. So please let me know in the comment section down below who sent these 2 next questions. But the first one is, which country would you like to travel to? Well, it would probably be a very easy one, Japan, because, you know, Japan is amazing. It has so many cool stuff that I'd still love to do there. I've been there before, but but I've got an entire like Google document sitting somewhere with like locations and exact addresses for where they are in Japan, from whatchamacallit, from Super Nintendo World to the Kirby Cafe. There are so many cool landmarks that I still want to visit there. If I don't have to include Japan, though, I would probably have to say somewhere in the, like, just the United States in general. Because, well, it's just a really cool country. And I think there's a lot of stuff that could be done there as well, in terms of, like, Smash tournaments or something like that. And I know a lot of you guys watching are from the US. And that would also be cool to meet some of y'all. Although it's probably hard to do that because, you know, the US is that big. And of course, if you guys would like a corny answer, then City Sprint, because we're always City Sprinting, aren't we? So yeah, I don't know who sent this question either, but I'm pretty sure it was Mithro. If not, just let me know. But Pyro or Mithra, you guys, all I have to say to that is... Did that question really need to be asked? Of course it's Mithra. Buzz asks, where does the name Alchares come from? Well, that's actually a pretty good question. To be honest, it's kind of a dumb story and I'm kind of embarrassed by it, because you've got all these people that are like, oh man, I got my name over here and it means like this and this and that. I'm just sitting here with my story, and that is, I was just thinking of cool names. I used to have the name Ninsa, which was like Nintendo and SA with, I don't know, I had to do something with Smash Brothers. And I don't know, didn't really want to use it anymore because we all just made fun of the name, including myself. So when I started streaming, instead of my competitor's name of Ninsa, I went for Alchares, which I thought of after like many hours of thinking, dude. I was just thinking to myself, okay, what's a cool name? Okay, maybe with Al, maybe with this and that. I just tried different things together. And then over the course of like a few weeks, it just, all of a sudden, no kidding, I was washing my hands and I was like, holy crap, Alchares. But the second question was, what is your favorite amiibo? And yeah, that was kind of hard for me because of the fact that, you know, I own way too many of them. It's not even funny anymore at this point. But yeah, I love each and every single one amiibo in their own right, but I'm not going to sit here just with a corny answer. So I would probably have to say one of the more newer ones that I really liked, also because of the fact that I was so happy that I got into Smash, is actually Banjo and Kazooie, as you can see right here. First of all, I just really like, you know, Banjo being there, looks pretty well detailed, but also Kazooie. Finally seeing them after all these years, and also in a good style compared to Nuts and Bolts. And of course, the little Jiggy here on the bottom. Totally an unnecessary addition right there, but I love it nonetheless, which makes this amiibo really great for me. Buzz also asked, what is a game you would like to see made? Now this one is kind of hard, because there are quite a few games I would love to see, or either be remastered, or something in that vein. But if I had to choose anything, it would have to be something akin to Super Smash Bros. Brawl's Subspace Emissary, and then like a game outright, just with Subspace, and then maybe with some amiibo functionality here or there, that some amiibo unlocks certain characters. Of course, not all of them, because that would be kind of weird and OP. It would kind of become like something like Skylanders all over again, and we've seen that there's been a rapid decline in that. But more or less, something like Subspace Emissary, where you see all these cool Nintendo characters interact with each other, trying to take down the big villain. Maybe there could be some cool mode with there, maybe in the style of Smash, maybe with different gameplay. Just as long as we get these cool Nintendo character interactions, because that's what made Subspace so good back during Brawl. It was like an entire game in another game. It's kind of wild. I would love to see it. The Hunter Lucas asks, what do you look for inspiration when it comes to streaming? Well, there are actually quite a few people I look to, but there are mainly I look up to YouTubers actually, and try to implement their styles, or I guess their ways of thinking, the ones I look up to, and then into my own, and then trying to present on a streaming level. Those people are Alpharad, I would have to say Hungrybox, and Patters. Now, Alpharad, obviously, he was like a really big Smash Bros. Creator. Well, he still technically is, but he doesn't really do a whole lot of Smash anymore. Just his humor is just fantastic. Hungrybox, great player, really funny dude. Love his reactions, love his puff. Always get a nice kick and laugh out of it. And the final one is Patters. I used to be a really big Pokemon fan, still am. Just a little bit burned out after Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Legends Arceus recaptured again. But whenever I look at Patterson's content, he just makes something unique. He puts like a spin on something very simple, such as Pokemon, and can make a really fun challenge out of it, and like out of nowhere. Just a really cool dude in general. Always really love to see his streams. Just put it on in the background while studying or doing something else, and just have a great blast anytime, anywhere. And he's just a really nice dude, which is something I also really aspire to be. The Hunter Lucas also asked if there's any character you would like to see in Smash Bros. That isn't owned by Nintendo. Who would it be? Well, technically Isaac is owned by Nintendo because of Camelot and Nintendo, so I guess I can't go for Isaac in this regard. But I would probably have to go with either Crash Bandicoot, or I would have to go with Gina from Super Mario RPG. The Hunter Lucas also asked, what are your plans moving forward? Well, that's also a really good question, actually, because of the fact that, yeah, I did elaborate on it a little bit, but mostly in terms of, like, what's coming up in the latest Alchares Direct Live. But pretty much, I'd just like to stick to what we've got going on right now. We're going to the 4th year, which is kind of crazy to me. It feels like we barely started, and that is all the better in my opinion, because, you know, the more I get to do this, the merrier. Just streaming and making content just makes my day, makes me happy. So I don't plan on leaving anytime soon, so don't worry about anything like that. It's going really well. It's probably going the best it has probably ever been. The YouTube output has probably been the highest it has ever been, like last year and stuff. It was really hard for me. But right now, currently, we've had like 1 or 2 months here or there earlier this year where it's been a little less, but at least I've been trying to do my best, and I feel like the quality and quantity of the content on here has been improving, as well as on the stream pretty much. So yeah, I just like to stick with it. The analytics also have been showing the best growth and the best, you know, numbers that have ever surfaced. I've got like an entire list noted down. I'm gonna tell you guys at the end of the year of all the accomplishments we broke. Spoiler alert, pretty much all of them, which is kind of nuts. I did say at the end of last year that 2022 was going to be the year of Alchares, and with like a month and a half still left to go, it's still the case, and we're still going to keep on moving forward with this great positivity and just having a great vibe and a great time. Now, the last 2 questions were questions I got on my Instagram. Don't forget to follow me, by the way, on my Instagram in the description down below. The question was, favorite Mario Kart character? I'm just going to look over to my left. Look to my right. Well, there's nothing at my right, but on my left, there was a Bowser Jr. right there. I love Bowser Jr. I have won so many tournaments with him, although he's like a lightweight character, which are technically the worst in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I love Bowser Jr. so much because of his acceleration. Now, it does mean I have to do a lot more drifts, but it just controls so well. And even though I play this like low-tier character, I've gotten so many achievements with him, which have made me love him even more. The final question I got was, what do you think of the Mario movie trailer? Well, what do I think of it actually? That's kind of a hard question, as I was going into the trailer reveal with the lowest of expectations because Illumination is making it. But I gotta say, it actually looks much better than I ever imagined it was going to look. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm definitely gonna go watch it. And I would say so far, yeah, it seems really good so far. I just think that Chris Pratt as Mario's voice could have maybe been a bit better here or there. But outside of that, I think Jack Black is the perfect Bowser. I love the little penguins with the Bowser peoples, or whatever you want to call it, the Bowser army, I guess. And Kamek, they just put out a cool vibe, which does not feel like it's just going to be your standard, oh, Mario needs to go save the princess, whatever shall he do now, like jump? No, it generally feels like it is going to be a blast. It's going to be crazy, you know, with the penguin and the Bowser dynamic that I mentioned. That's nothing we've seen in Mario as of yet. And I think they're going to put in a lot of good things into this movie. And I'm actually going into it with a lot of high hopes right now. Although, for one thing, if they put in a minion, then I'm gonna say, no, I do not, like Bowser, and just leave the theater, because no minions in my Mario movie, okay? Anyways, that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys liked the questions and, of course, the answers, because that's the most important thing in a Q&A video, of course. I've done the utterly terrifying thing for a YouTuber today, which is answering questions. And I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below what you thought of it, and if you are maybe the person who sent in those 2 questions, because I pulled a huge small win on that. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.